Hey, what's up, good people? Derek here. I was asked yesterday to compare these different large language models, and I figured what better way to compare them than to use them on something that I actually created. So, in my bio, there's a link to a few poems that I've written over the years and just threw them into a Medium page. And I'm going to let Notebook LM, as the first experiment, show you what it can do by creating a podcast based on my poetry. So, Medium page, poems. I took the content from the poems and put them into the sources for a uh, Notebook LM notebook, and then I asked it to create a podcast. So, listen to a minute of it.
Hey, everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Always exciting to jump into a new deep dive.
Today, we're exploring the work of a writer named Derek Johnson.
Oh, yeah, I've seen his stuff on Medium.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to be taking a look at a few of his Medium posts.
Cool.
He's got a really interesting style. I think kind of a mix of self-reflection, philosophy, and even a touch of poetry in there.
Yeah, it's a really unique blend. I mean, he's dealing with some pretty heavy themes, but he does it in a way that's really engaging and surprisingly relatable.
Exactly. So get ready for some deep thoughts, folks, because we're about to dive into the world of Derek Johnson.
So it created a 20-minute podcast that sounds very natural. Sounds like two people going back and forth. And I'll be honest, I was impressed. It actually motivated me to want to write more. It made me feel that there was probably even more depth to some of the stuff I wrote than I intended. But I would experiment with creating the podcast, even if it's just for you. And I'd be happy to share it with you if you want the full podcast. Just DM me and I'll share it with you. So I also took the same text and I put it inside of one of Google's experimental AIs. So this is like Google Gemini, but they're experimental. And I asked it to evaluate each of the poems based on tone and style and overall assessment. So it goes into high level of detail explaining and evaluating each poem. And I thought that was pretty cool and different because it did a poem by poem evaluation and an overall assessment, which I found more detailed than some of the other options. I also put in ChatGPT with its O1 model, it's the most advanced model, and it gave good feedback, but notice how relatively limited the amount of feedback is compared to what Google posted. And then I also put it in DeepSeek, since that's the new hotness, and again, put the poems in, asked it to do the same evaluation, and it goes through its analysis, and it gives more detail than ChatGPT, but still not as much as Google Gemini, but still pretty cool. Get a sense of how it thinks about something creative like poetry, and then Claude, which I wouldn't normally think about for something like this, but I thought it was interesting that it took a more nuanced approach in how it evaluated the poetry. So that was something fun I did. If you want more, hit me up. I can give you more details, but just a interesting way to evaluate how these things handle creative content. And yeah, hope you enjoy and check out my Medium page because now I'm in this world where I get to promote myself. This is so annoying, but I'm having fun learning the process. All right, talk soon. Peace.